Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Rise of the Beasts Autobots Unite Optimus Prime figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, see how he displays. We will of course use the engine gimmick and see how that works. It's pretty cool, to be honest. You take this, which has got a bit of a motor on it, and you pop it down into the alternate mode and it propels him forwards. We're also going to see how he looks and compares to his Generation 1 self. As you can see, it's quite a big figure, and some other figures of Optimus Prime and some other mainline figures that have been released down the Generations line and indeed third-party lines recently, just to give you an idea of the scale and size of this figure. So I've also got the Bumblebee one as well to bring in, and we can have a look how they look together. So on the, I suppose, the main artwork, it's a screenshot, but I can't make it out of what it is. I think it's the woods from perhaps maybe one of the opening scenes, but perhaps not, I'm not too sure. This is branded under the Autobots Unite, but this is a repackaged Bumblebee movie figure as far as I'm led to believe. There's an image of Optimus Prime there. I don't think that's exactly how he looks in Rise of the Beasts, in all honesty, but we can see on the back there, and I've noticed again that the instructions are on the back rather than inside the packaging. I presume it's going to be pretty straightforward with it being Optimus Prime, but of course I will upload a tutorial anyway. And I think that's all there is to say about the packaging, so let's set him free and come right back to you. So there he is, set free from the packaging, and first impressions, I don't think it's as good as Bumblebee. I'm going to say that straight off. I don't really know what's going on with this chest, in all honesty. It does literally just look like a huge, great big square. It looks much worse, as horrible as this is to say, in person. However, the head sculpt isn't too bad. It's just massively out of proportion, as I'm sure you'll agree. It's too small for the body. It does spin all the way around. There is a nice bit of detail there though for the faceplate and for the eyes. The arms are going to go out to the side. At least there's a bit of articulation. They will go around, but again, I mean, is it me? I mean, let me know in the comments. I'm sure that the arms and the head are completely out of proportion with this guy. He can bend forward. It's not really an ab crunch, obviously. It's just for transformation. The legs will kick out and go back. Now, I know obviously these aren't what I would class as sort of mainline figures. And as I say, the Bumblebee one, which funnily enough I've got right next to him, I was going to save it till later. Yes, the Bumblebee one's a little bit more hollow. But I think it looks aesthetically a bit better. Everything sort of seems to be in proportion, whereas this guy, yes, he's taller. I mean, look, but his arms are a lot smaller than Bumblebee. The head is a lot smaller than Bumblebee, and the chest is huge. So maybe I'm being too picky. I'm probably being too picky again for the demographic that it's aimed at. Otherwise, I mean, it's not too bad. Look, all the wheels look like they're on individual pins. It looks like there's going to be a nice bit of detail when we get him into truck mode. But I suppose that's pretty much about it. They don't come with any other accessories. But like I said with the Bumblebee video, because they've got 5mm holes in their fists, it's pretty much industry standard. So that is a drag strip gun from, of course, Legacy, and that fits in there fine. So you could still, if you were buying this for somebody else or for a present and they've got other Transformers, then you can still use their weapons and accessories with it. Right, we need to have a look at him in his alternate mode though and see how his gimmick works, because that's really what this particular figure is actually about. So then, here he is in his alternate mode, and this is where I've got to hold my hands up straight away and say, do you know what, that transformation process really surprised me. It was actually far cleverer than what I thought it would be, and yeah, it was really, it was actually, I'm really stunned, to be honest. It was not what I was expecting at all, and you can probably tell that I don't really know what to say. I was pretty much stunned. That's why I've uploaded it separately anyway, because I think it definitely deserves that as well. Now, the alternate mode for me is looking 1,000,000 times better than the robot. Now, funnily enough, I think that's going to work better for this, because the main gimmick for this figure is when it's in the alternate mode. Now, before I show you the gimmick, let's have a quick look at it. So we've got a nice bit of detail. The silver at the front, the smokestacks, etc., are again painted silver. All of the wheels are on individual pins, so they will do exactly what you want them to do. And then the silver and everything looks kind of nice as well. But then this is, I think, another thing now which I'm about to show you, which makes it look even better. But before we do that, this is the original G1 Optimus Prime cab. So again, giving you an idea of just how big this particular figure is. There is the said drag strip figure, which it is easily as big as, and that's a very, very big or long, shall we say, deluxe figure. There is a deluxe Jurassic Park Jeep, and this is of course Voyager Battle Trap from Rise of the Beasts, and it's, you know, it's easily as big as that. So in fact it's bigger, which I'm sure you can tell. So this is a great big last little comparison. There's a G1 Bumblebee to show you how small he looks compared to it. So I think, as I say, that they are pulling I was going to say pulling out all the stops, but they're putting all their effort into the alternate mode with this, especially when you do this. Watch this. Fold these out to the side. That, again, instantaneously now looks better, I think, already, because the silver on here is great compared to this gunmetal grey colour there. That silver there really looks good. Again, it still moves backwards and forwards, but then this is where the gimmick is. If you push this in, that's a bit like a pull back and go motor. In fact, you don't pull it back, you just press it and it revs it for you. So you can lock this into position, clip it right the way down, make sure it's all the way down. Is that all the way in? And then it will shoot off. Of course, it will propel itself forward, which again is brilliant. You can see how it all locks into place. Yes, it is very, very hollow, but yeah, alternate mode for this is making it an absolute winner. I think I'm going to do that once more for you, just so you can see. Press that down, and then that will propel it off. Even though it's quite a big vehicle, it still does it really well. I'm really surprised by that. Anyway, we're going to come back very quickly for the final time with him in robot mode and do a few more size comparisons. Right, so here he is back in his robot mode, and I'm sure you know my feelings already, and I'm going to just reiterate them again. I definitely feel that this is the weakest mode out of the two of them. Even though, as I say, I like the silvers and the gunmetal greys, I just think that he looks a little bit out of proportion. And let's be honest, as I say, the main purpose of this figure is to be transformed and played with this engine. That being said, though, he still looks pretty good. He is quite hollow, but a little bit more sturdy than what Bumblebee was. You saw in the alternate mode that the main hollowness is all in and around there. Right, again, a few size comparison ideas. There he is next to a Voyager class bludgeon, and as you can see, he's huge compared to that. There is the other Bumblebee figure that's in the same toy line. So these are the larger versions of these figures. Let me bring in some other figures just to give you an idea. So let's bring some mainline ones in first and foremost. So we've got a couple of deluxes here, which again you can see he's completely towering above. If I was to start to bring in some core class figures, these are all mainline. Obviously he's towering above all of these as well. So let's move these out of the way. Leader class, I don't think he's anywhere near as big, but the leader class figure that I've got at hand is a huge one, to be honest, but not too bad to be honest. He doesn't look too small compared to him. Very quickly, for people who collect, I suppose, legends or third-party sized figures, he is towering above all of these, because of course these are legend scale versions of the figures. Overall, though, as I say, I don't want to go on too much about this particular figure. Yes, it's quite basic. Yes, I believe it is from the Bumblebee movie, just repackaged, but it was my first experience of the figure itself, and it was fun. The transformation process, as I say, really did surprise me, and that's another reason why I put it up in a separate video, because I think it really did deserve that. And the instructions on the back, to be honest, they're not that great. But there you go, guys. Just a very quick review on a Christmas idea for a new Rise of the Beast Transformers Unite Optimus Prime figure. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Take care.